Have you ever wished for a magic button that could instantly bring more money into your life? Well, what if I told you there's a simple 3-minute technique that can do just that? It's not magic, but it might feel like it once you start seeing results. This powerful method comes from the teachings of Neville Goddard, a master of manifestation, and it's easier to use than you might think. Let's be honest, most of us have money worries. Maybe you're struggling to pay bills, or you can't seem to save no matter how hard you try. Perhaps you've tried budgeting, cutting expenses, or even looking for a better paying job, but nothing seems to make a big difference. It's frustrating, right? You work hard, you do everything you're supposed to do, but financial freedom still feels out of reach. But what if there was a way to change your financial situation without working longer hours or pinching every penny? What if you could attract more money into your life just by changing the way you think? This is where Neville Goddard's imaginal scene technique comes in. It's a quick and easy way to reshape your financial reality that anyone can do, even if you've never heard of manifestation before. The best part? It only takes 3 minutes a day. Now you might be thinking, come on, how can just imagining things change my bank account? It sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? But stick with me, because this method has helped countless people transform their financial lives, and it can work for you too. The idea behind this technique is simple. Your imagination is the key to creating your reality. Goddard believed that what you focus on in your mind becomes real in your life. It's like planting a seed. If you plant a tomato seed and take care of it, you'll get tomatoes, not cucumbers. In the same way, if you plant the right thoughts in your mind and nurture them, you'll grow the life you want. This works because your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you create a clear, detailed image in your mind of having the money you want, your subconscious starts to believe it's true. And when your subconscious believes something, it works behind the scenes to make it happen in your real life. Think about it like this. Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly you start seeing that same car everywhere? It's not that there are suddenly more of those cars on the road, it's that your brain is now programmed to notice them. In the same way, when you program your mind to focus on wealth and abundance, you start noticing opportunities to make money that were always there, but you just didn't see before. But this technique isn't just about positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It's a specific, structured way of using your imagination that can lead to real results. And the best part is, anyone can do it. You don't need any special skills or knowledge. You just need a few minutes a day and the willingness to try something new. The first thing you need to do is decide what financial goal you want to focus on. Maybe you want to double your income, pay off all your debts, or have enough money to take that dream vacation. Whatever it is, make it clear and specific. Once you have your goal, create a mental scene that represents achieving that goal. This is where it gets fun. You get to use your imagination to create a movie in your mind. For example, let's say your goal is to have $10,000 in your savings account. Your scene might be you logging into your online banking and seeing that $10,000 balance. Or it could be you telling a friend, "I can't believe it, I finally saved $10,000. The key is to make it a short, clear scene that feels real and exciting to you. Now that you have your scene, it's time to bring it to life in your mind. This is where the real magic happens. Close your eyes and imagine your scene as vividly as possible. Use all your senses. If your scene is checking your bank balance, imagine the feel of your phone or computer in your hands. See the numbers on the screen. Feel the excitement and relief of having that money in your account. The more real you can make it feel, the more powerful this technique becomes. Don't just see it like you're watching a movie. Put yourself in the scene. Feel the emotions you'd feel if it were really happening. This might feel silly at first, especially if you're not used to using your imagination this way. But stick with it. The more you practice, the easier and more natural it will become. Here's where the 3-minute part comes in. Set a timer for 3 minutes, and during that time, replay your scene over and over in your mind. Each time, try to make it feel more real and more vivid. As you do this, allow yourself to feel the positive emotions associated with achieving your goal. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement. Let yourself believe, just for these 3 minutes, that this is your reality. This is crucial. During these 3 minutes, you're not hoping or wishing for this to happen. You're experiencing it as if it's already happened. This is what Goddard called living from the end. You're living in the feeling of already having what you want. Do this exercise every day, preferably right before you go to sleep at night. Why before sleep? Because that's when your subconscious mind is most receptive to new ideas. Now you might be wondering, is that it? Just imagine something for 3 minutes a day, and I'll get rich? Well, not exactly. This technique is powerful, but it's not magic. It works by changing your mindset and opening you up to opportunities you might have missed before. Here's how it can play out in real life. Let's say you've been doing this exercise, imagining yourself with an extra $1,000 in your bank account. One day, you overhear a coworker talking about a part-time job opportunity. Before, you might have ignored it. But now, with your mind focused on increasing your wealth, you decide to check it out. That job ends up being the perfect way for you to earn that extra $1,000. Or maybe you start noticing ways to save money that you overlooked before. Perhaps you feel more confident asking for a raise at work. The opportunities are endless, but the key is that you're now primed to notice and act on them. But here's the thing. This technique isn't a replacement for action. It's a way to prime your mind and align your thoughts with your goals. You still need to take steps in the real world to move towards your financial goals. The difference is that now you'll be doing it with a powerful ally, your subconscious mind. So are you ready to give it a try? Remember, it only takes 3 minutes a day. That's less time than it takes to brush your teeth. And the potential payoff is huge. Start tonight. Choose your scene, make it as real as possible in your mind, and spend 3 minutes living in that reality. Do it every day for a month and see what happens. You might be surprised at the opportunities that start showing up in your life. Now let's address some common questions and concerns you might have about this technique. This sounds like wishful thinking. How is it different from just daydreaming? Great question. While this technique does involve using your imagination, it's much more structured and purposeful than daydreaming. When you daydream, your thoughts tend to wander without focus. With this technique, you're creating a specific, detailed scene and repeatedly experiencing it as if it's real. The key difference is in how you feel. Daydreaming often comes with a sense of longing or wishing. This technique involves feeling as if you already have what you want. It's about creating such a vivid and realistic experience in your mind that your subconscious can't tell the difference between that and reality. I'm not very good at visualizing. Can this still work for me? Absolutely. While this technique is often described in terms of visualization, it's really about engaging all your senses and emotions. If you have trouble creating mental images, focus on the other aspects of the experience. For example, if your goal is to buy your dream house, instead of trying to picture every detail of the house, focus on how it would feel to turn the key in the lock for the first time. Imagine the sense of pride and excitement. Feel the smooth wood of the banister under your hand as you walk up the stairs. Smell the freshly painted walls. The key is to make the experience as real and vivid as possible, using whatever senses come most naturally to you. How long will it take to see results? This is one of the most common questions people ask, and unfortunately, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The time it takes to see results can vary depending on many factors, including how consistently you practice the technique, how aligned your actions are with your goals, and the specific nature of your financial goal. Some people report seeing small changes within a few days or weeks, while for others, it might take months to notice significant shifts. The important thing is to be patient and persistent. Keep doing the exercise every day, even if you don't see immediate results. Remember, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind, and that takes time. It's like learning a new skill or forming a new habit. It doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, it does happen. What if I fall asleep while doing the exercise? Don't worry if this happens. In fact, falling asleep while imagining your scene can be beneficial. Your subconscious mind is most receptive when you're in that drowsy state between waking and sleeping. So if you drift off while focusing on your imaginal scene, you're actually allowing those images and feelings to sink deeper into your subconscious. That said, try to stay awake and focused for the full 3 minutes if you can. The more conscious attention you can give to the exercise, the more powerful it can be. Can I use this technique for goals other than money? Absolutely. While we're focusing on financial goals in this video, the principles of this technique can be applied to any area of your life. Whether you want to improve your health, find a loving relationship, advance in your career, or achieve any other goal, this method can help. The key is to create a scene that represents the achievement of your goal, make it as vivid and real as possible in your mind, and consistently imagine it as if it's already happened. What if negative thoughts come up while I'm doing this? It's normal for doubts or negative thoughts to arise, especially when you're first starting out. Our minds are often conditioned to focus on limitations and obstacles. When this happens, don't fight against the negative thoughts. Instead, gently acknowledge them and then return your focus to your imaginal scene. Remember, the goal is to spend these 3 minutes fully immersed in the feeling of having already achieved your goal. If negative thoughts persist, you might want to spend some time addressing and reframing these limiting beliefs outside of your 3-minute practice. Do I need to do anything else besides this 3-minute exercise? While this technique is powerful on its own, it's most effective when combined with aligned action in your daily life. This means taking steps in the real world that move you closer to your financial goals. For example, if your goal is to increase your income, you might start looking for new job opportunities, ask for a raise at work, or explore ways to start a side business. The imaginal scene technique helps to align your subconscious mind with your goals, making you more likely to notice and act on opportunities that can help you achieve those goals. Also, pay attention to your thoughts and words throughout the day. Try to maintain a positive focus on abundance and possibility rather than lack and limitation. The more you can align your everyday thoughts and actions with the reality you're creating in your imaginal scene, the more powerful the results can be. Is this technique guaranteed to make me rich? While many people have reported amazing results using this technique, it's important to approach it with realistic expectations. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme or a magical solution to all your financial problems. It's a tool to help you align your subconscious mind with your financial goals and open yourself up to opportunities you might have missed before. The results you see will depend on many factors, including how consistently you practice the technique, how well you're able to create and maintain the feeling of already having achieved your goal, and what actions you take in your daily life to move towards your goals. Remember, the purpose of this technique isn't just to make money appear out of thin air. It's to shift your mindset, increase your awareness of opportunities, and align your subconscious beliefs with your conscious desires. When you do this, you may find that achieving your financial goals becomes easier and more natural. How is this different from other law of attraction techniques? While this technique does share some similarities with other law of attraction methods, Neville Goddard's approach is unique in a few key ways. First, it emphasizes the importance of feeling as if your desire has already been fulfilled, rather than simply visualizing what you want. This living from the end concept is central to Goddard's teachings. Second, Goddard's technique focuses on creating a specific, short scene and repeating it, rather than creating a general vision board or reciting affirmations. This concentrated focus can make it easier to fully immerse yourself in the feeling of having achieved your goal. Lastly, Goddard's approach is based on the idea that your imagination is not just a tool for visualizing what you want, but the very creative power that shapes your reality. This shifts the practice from simply wishing for what you want to actively participating in the creation of your experience. Now that we've addressed some common questions, let's dive a little deeper into how you can make this technique even more effective. One key to success with this method is consistency. It's called a 3-minute technique, but those 3 minutes need to happen every day. Set a specific time each day for your practice and stick to it. Many people find it helpful to do the exercise right before bed, as this allows the imaginal scene to sink into your subconscious as you sleep. Another important aspect is emotional engagement. The more you can feel the positive emotions associated with achieving your goal, the more powerful this technique becomes. Really allow yourself to feel the joy, relief, excitement, or whatever positive emotions come up when you imagine your scene. It's also helpful to stay open and flexible about how your financial goals might manifest. While you're focusing on a specific scene in your imagination, be open to unexpected opportunities in your daily life. Sometimes the path to our goals looks different than we imagined. Remember to be patient with yourself as you learn this technique. Like any new skill, it might feel awkward or challenging at first. You might find your mind wandering or have trouble making the scene feel real. That's okay. With practice, it will become easier and more natural. As you continue with this practice, you might start to notice some changes in your daily life. You might find yourself feeling more optimistic about your financial future. You might start noticing opportunities you hadn't seen before. You might feel more confident in your ability to handle money or to increase your income. These are all signs that the technique is working, even if you haven't yet seen concrete changes in your bank account. Remember, change often starts internally before it manifests externally. It's also worth noting that this technique can have benefits beyond just your financial situation. Many people report feeling more positive and optimistic overall, experiencing less stress and anxiety about money, and feeling more in control of their lives. This makes sense when you think about it. By regularly focusing on a positive future and feeling the emotions of success and abundance, you're training your brain to look for the positive in all areas of your life. As you continue with this practice, you might want to keep a journal of your experiences. Note any changes you observe, both in your external circumstances and in your thoughts and feelings about money. This can help you track your progress and stay motivated. You might also find it helpful to create multiple scenes for different financial goals. Maybe you have one scene for increasing your income, another for paying off debt, and another for building your savings. Just be sure to focus on one scene at a time during your 3-minute practice. Remember, the key to success with this technique is to make it a regular part of your daily routine. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Even if you don't feel like you're doing it right every time, the simple act of regularly focusing your mind on your desired outcome can have powerful effects over time. So are you ready to give it a try? Remember, it's just 3 minutes a day. That's all it takes to start reprogramming your subconscious mind for greater financial success. Why not start tonight? Choose your scene, set your timer, and allow yourself to fully experience the joy and satisfaction of achieving your financial goals. Who knows? In a few weeks or months, you might find yourself living the very scene you've been imagining. Wouldn't that be amazing? Now that we've covered the basics of this powerful technique, let's break it down into easy-to-follow steps. Remember, the beauty of this method is its simplicity. You don't need any special equipment or skills, just your mind and a few minutes of your time. The first step is to decide exactly what you want to manifest. Be specific. Instead of just saying more money, choose a precise amount or a clear financial situation. Maybe you want to have $50,000 in your savings account, or perhaps you want to be debt-free. Whatever it is, make sure it's clear and meaningful to you. Once you have your goal, it's time to create the mental scene that represents achieving this goal. This is where you get to be creative. Your scene should be short, clear, and feel real to you. It should capture the moment of realization that you've achieved your goal. For example, if your goal is to have $50,000 in savings, your scene might be looking at your bank statement and seeing the $50,000 balance, telling your partner, "We did it. We saved $50,000," feeling the peace of mind as you pay bills, knowing you have a substantial savings cushion. Choose a scene that feels natural and exciting to you. The more real it feels, the more effective it will be. Now comes the fun part. Close your eyes and imagine your scene as vividly as possible. Use all your senses to make it feel real. If you're imagining looking at a bank statement, see the numbers clearly. Feel the paper in your hands or the texture of your phone or computer if it's a digital statement. Hear the excitement in your voice as you share the news with someone. The more senses you engage, the more real it will feel to your subconscious mind. Don't worry if you're not great at visualizing, focus on whatever senses come most naturally to you. This is perhaps the most crucial step. As you imagine your scene, allow yourself to feel the emotions you would feel if this were really happening. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement, the sense of accomplishment. Let these positive emotions fill your body. Your emotions are the language of your subconscious mind. When you feel the emotions of having achieved your goal, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious that this is your reality. Set a timer for 3 minutes. During this time, replay your scene over and over in your mind. Each time, try to make it more vivid, more real. Keep feeling those positive emotions. Don't worry if your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your scene. The more you practice, the easier it will become to stay focused. When your 3 minutes are up, take a moment to feel grateful. Be thankful for this technique, for the opportunity to shape your financial future, and for the good things already in your life. Gratitude helps to reinforce the positive emotions and keeps you in a receptive state for abundance. Do this exercise every day, preferably at the same time. Many people find it most effective to do it just before going to sleep at night. This allows your subconscious to work on it while you sleep. Remember, consistency is key. It's better to do this for 3 minutes every day than to do it for an hour once a week. By following these steps consistently, you're programming your subconscious mind to align with your financial goals. You're creating a new blueprint for your financial reality. While this technique is simple, there are a few common pitfalls that can reduce its effectiveness. By being aware of these, you can ensure you're getting the most out of your practice. One of the biggest mistakes people make is focusing on what they don't have instead of what they want to have. For example, if your goal is to be debt-free, you might be tempted to imagine a scene where you're struggling with bills and then suddenly they're paid off. However, this keeps your focus on the problem rather than the solution. Instead, imagine a scene that represents the state of being debt-free. Maybe it's looking at a bank statement that shows zero balances on all your credit cards, or it's the feeling of peace as you realize you don't owe anyone anything. Remember, what you focus on expands. Keep your focus on the positive outcome you want, not the negative situation you want to change. Another common mistake is approaching this practice like a tedious task you have to get through. If you're just going through the motions without engaging your emotions and imagination, you're missing out on the real power of this technique. This should be an enjoyable experience. You're imagining your ideal financial situation. Let yourself feel excited about it. If you're not enjoying the process, try changing your scene to something that feels more engaging and exciting to you. It's natural for doubts to arise, especially when you're first starting out. You might catch yourself thinking, "This is silly," or "This will never work." When these thoughts come up, don't fight them or feel bad about them. Simply acknowledge them and gently bring your focus back to your scene. Remember, your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. Even if your conscious mind has doubts, your subconscious will still respond to the images and emotions you're creating. While it's natural to be eager for results, constantly checking your bank account or looking for signs that it's working can actually hinder your progress. This behavior often comes from a place of doubt or lack, which is the opposite of the abundance mindset you're trying to cultivate. Instead, trust in the process. Do your 3-minute practice consistently and then go about your day with confidence that you're moving towards your goals. Allow yourself to be pleasantly surprised when you start noticing positive changes. While this technique is powerful, it's not about sitting back and waiting for money to magically appear in your bank account. It's about aligning your subconscious mind with your goals so that you're more likely to notice and act on opportunities to improve your financial situation. Pay attention to any ideas or impulses you get related to your financial goals. Maybe you'll feel inspired to start a side business, or you'll come across a great investment opportunity. Don't neglect these inspired actions. They're often how your manifested desires come into reality. By avoiding these common mistakes, you'll be setting yourself up for success with this manifestation technique. Remember, it's a skill that improves with practice. Be patient with yourself and enjoy the process. Tips for success. Now that we've covered the steps and common mistakes to avoid, let's look at some tips to supercharge your manifestation practice and increase your chances of success. Consistency is key when it comes to reprogramming your subconscious mind. Try to do your 3-minute practice at the same time every day. This helps to establish it as a habit and sends a clear message to your subconscious that this is important. Many people find it helpful to tie this practice to an existing habit. For example, you might do it right after brushing your teeth at night or first thing in the morning when you wake up. Find a time that works for you and stick with it. While the 3-minute practice is powerful, it's even more effective if you maintain a positive focus on your financial goals throughout the day. Pay attention to your thoughts and words about money. Are you constantly complaining about bills or talking about how you can't afford things? Try to shift these patterns to more positive ones. This doesn't mean ignoring financial challenges, but rather approaching them with a mindset of possibility and abundance. Instead of thinking, "I can't afford that," try, "How can I afford that?" This simple shift keeps you open to opportunities and solutions. Sometimes it can be helpful to have physical reminders of your financial goals. This might be a fake check written out for the amount you're manifesting, or a vision board with images that represent your financial dreams. Place these where you'll see them regularly to reinforce your mental practice. Gratitude is a powerful complement to your manifestation practice. Each day, take a few moments to appreciate the money and abundance you already have in your life, no matter how small it might seem. This puts you in a positive, receptive state that's conducive to attracting more abundance. Often, the way our desires manifest is different from what we imagined. Stay open and alert to unexpected opportunities. Maybe you've been visualizing a job promotion, but instead you get an offer for an even better job at a different company. Trust that the universe, or your subconscious if you prefer, knows the best path to your goals. Pay attention to any ideas or impulses you get related to your financial goals. Maybe you'll feel drawn to take a certain class, or reach out to a particular person, or start a new project. These inspired actions are often the bridge between your inner work and your outer reality. Remember, you're making significant changes to your subconscious programming, and that takes time. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Trust that as long as you're consistent with your practice, you're moving in the right direction. If after a few weeks you're not feeling engaged with your scene anymore, don't be afraid to change it up. The key is to find a scene that really resonates with you and keeps you excited about your financial goals. As you start to see changes in your financial situation, celebrate them, no matter how small. Did you find an extra $5 in your coat pocket? Celebrate it as a sign that money is flowing to you. Did you manage to save a little more than usual this month? Celebrate your progress. These celebrations reinforce the positive changes you're making and encourage more of the same. Finally, remember that this technique is just one tool in your financial manifestation toolkit. Stay curious and open to learning more about personal finance, wealth consciousness, and spiritual principles. The more you understand about how money works, both in the practical world and in your mind, the more effectively you can manifest your financial dreams. By following these tips, you'll be setting yourself up for success with your manifestation practice. Remember, the key is to enjoy the process. You're not just working towards a financial goal, you're developing a new relationship with money and abundance that can benefit you for the rest of your life. As you start practicing this manifestation technique, it's natural to have some doubts or questions. Let's address some of the most common ones to help you move forward with confidence. This sounds too good to be true. Can it really work? It's understandable to be skeptical. After all, we're often taught that making money requires hard work and struggle. But consider this, haven't you noticed that some people seem to attract money easily, while others struggle no matter how hard they work? The difference often lies in their mindset and beliefs about money. This technique isn't about magically making money appear out of thin air. It's about reprogramming your subconscious mind to align with wealth and abundance. When you do this, you start noticing opportunities you might have missed before. You feel more confident asking for raises or setting higher prices for your services. You make better financial decisions because you're coming from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. Remember, many successful people, from entrepreneurs to athletes, use visualization techniques similar to this. They understand the power of mental rehearsal in achieving their goals. What if it doesn't work for me? This is a common fear, but here's the thing. This technique can work for anyone who applies it consistently and with genuine emotion. If you're not seeing results, it's often because of one of these reasons. You're not being consistent with your practice. You're not fully engaging your emotions during the visualization. You're letting doubts and negative self-talk override your positive visualizations. You're not taking inspired action in your daily life to move towards your goals. If you find yourself struggling, go back to the basics. Make sure you're doing the practice every day, really feeling the emotions of having achieved your goal and staying open to opportunities in your daily life. I've tried other law of attraction techniques before, and they didn't work. How is this different? While this technique does share some similarities with other law of attraction methods, Neville Goddard's approach is unique in its focus on living from the end, that is, fully experiencing the feeling of already having achieved your goal. It's not just about visualizing what you want, but about embodying the state of having it. Additionally, this technique is very specific and structured. You're not just creating a general vision board or reciting affirmations. You're creating a concrete scene and repeatedly experiencing it in vivid detail. This focused approach can be more powerful in programming your subconscious mind. I'm not very good at visualizing. Can this still work for me? Absolutely. While this technique is often described in terms of visualization, it's really about engaging all your senses and emotions. If you have trouble creating mental images, focus on the other aspects of the experience. How would it feel to have achieved your financial goal? What would you hear people saying to you? What emotions would you experience? The key is to make the experience as real and vivid as possible, using whatever senses come most naturally to you. How long will it take to see results? This is one of the most common questions, and unfortunately, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The time it takes to see results can vary depending on many factors, including how consistently you practice, how well you're able to engage your emotions, and the specific nature of your financial goal. Some people report seeing small changes within a few days or weeks, while for others, it might take months to notice significant shifts. The important thing is to be patient and persistent. Keep doing the exercise every day, even if you don't see immediate results. Remember, you're reprogramming deeply ingrained subconscious beliefs about money. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, it does happen. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, from the basic principles of Neville Goddard's manifestation technique to step-by-step instructions, common mistakes to avoid, and tips for success. But the most important thing to remember is this: your imagination is a powerful tool for creating your reality. By spending just 3 minutes a day imagining and feeling your desired financial situation, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind. You're reprogramming old beliefs about money and opening yourself up to new possibilities. This technique isn't about bypassing hard work or making irresponsible financial decisions. It's about aligning your subconscious mind with your conscious goals, so that you're more likely to notice and act on opportunities to improve your financial situation. As you practice this technique, you may find that your entire relationship with money starts to shift. You might feel more confident, more optimistic about your financial future. You might find yourself making better financial decisions or feeling more deserving of wealth and abundance. Remember, wealth is not just about the numbers in your bank account. It's about feeling secure, abundant, and free to live life on your own terms. This manifestation technique can help you cultivate those feelings, which in turn can lead to real changes in your financial reality. So, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Are you ready to harness the power of your imagination to create the wealth and abundance you desire? If so, then start tonight. Choose your goal, create your scene, and spend those 3 minutes fully immersed in the feeling of having achieved your financial dreams. Who knows? In a few weeks or months, you might find yourself living the very scene you've been imagining. And wouldn't that be something worth celebrating? Thank you for watching, and here's to your financial success. Remember, your wealth begins in your mind. So dream big, feel deeply, and stay consistent. Your future self will thank you for it.